Hi everyone, my name is Sonakshi Pandey and I'm a data analytics leader and I work in cloud computing. So my job is to help organizations move applications to the cloud and also build data-driven applications in cloud. Now, the way I would explain this to someone who is new to tech is when you're looking at the Amazon.com website and let's say when you check out a juicer or a mixer and then you get similar recommendations for the products you just saw, right? So that happens through the power of data and processing that happens in the background. Data is how you're able to give a more customized experience. You're able to get a more customized experience, and that's what I do in my day-to-day life. When I was in school, we had this huge bulky computer that was given to us by one of our family friends. And I loved working on that computer, playing games on that computer. And computers was the only subject where I scored the highest marks. So that's how I got fascinated with computers in the first place. So right when I, passed out of school, I decided that, let's dive a little deep and understand how these computers actually get the magic done. So I decided to pursue bachelor's. I got my bachelor's from India. And after bachelor's, I felt that, big data technologies was a huge thing back in 2013 when I graduated. So I was like, what? I really need to specialize into it and do a little more deep dive into it. And this passion of mine fueled me to go and get my master's in computer science. So I got my master's. And when I was doing my master's, what I felt is I want to become a software engineer, because I loved writing code and I wanted to take that love for coding a step ahead. So as soon as I graduated, I took up my first job as a software engineer at Amazon.com. I was responsible for managing the platform on which all the machine learning models ran, and this allowed Amazon to forecast for all the products that you see on the Amazon website. So remember how you go on Amazon.com, you search for a product and it says just 3 left in stock, 4 left in stock. That happened because of some of my efforts that contributed towards getting those numbers there. But then I realized it got to a point where I felt that that job required me to do a lot of deep dive, which was great. I had fun, but I felt I was lacking the breadth of technologies out there. I wanted to get a job that gave me exposure outside of just that, given stack of technologies. And at the same time, communication skills, I was not this confident of a talker before. So communication skills was also something that I really wanted to build. So that's when I decided which role is, something that will give me a combination of both of this. And that was a solution architect role. So I changed from Amazon.com to Amazon Web Services, which is Amazon's cloud computing platform. I moved there and I became a solution architect. I was a person who wore her headphones, grabbed her laptop and coded for, 8 hours straight. This new role involved me to face customers, to have a chat with them, to solve their problems in real life without, Googling a lot. And at first I found it challenging, but after, spending a few months, I got the hang of it and I was having fun with it. So I did that, and then I pivoted into my current role. So I started off as a customer engineer and I was also leading my team. And my focus has always been on cloud computing and data analytics, and that's how I am here today. I began my career at Amazon right after I graduated, and I had been in this company for 5 long years. So what this meant is for 5 years, I was working on the same technology stack. I was very comfortable with the company culture. Now, when I moved to Google from Amazon, there was first little bit of a cultural shock because both companies have slightly different cultures. And it took me a while to, get used to the huge change that happened there. Another thing is, since I was working on Amazon Cloud, I was pretty acquainted with it. But what I had to do is now, since I went to another company, I had to learn a different cloud platform, educate myself on it. So there was a little bit of a learning curve. So I think, that's what was different moving from one company to another. So one biggest valuable lesson that I have learned so far in my career, and this might not be cloud computing specific, is you have to be a very strong advocate for yourself and your career. I feel starting out, if I was to go back and change something, the advice that I would have given to younger Sonakshi is you're responsible for your own promotion, you're responsible for your own career growth, and you are responsible for the kind of work you do. So you have to be very vocal about what you like, what you dislike, and in which direction you want to take your career in. I founded this chapter called Women in Solution Architecture. So the goal why I created this chapter was I am a woman in tech, and when I first took up the solution architect role, my journey was bumpy. I would agree about that. It was not always smooth. When you are in a meeting room or when you are in a video call where there are most majority are men, and when you have to authoritatively give a recommendation that everyone listens to, it can be challenging, and I did face a lot of struggles. But what was interesting is when I spoke to other women who were in the same job role as I am, I noticed that what I faced is not unique. Other women in the same role go through the same challenges, and that is what inspired me or motivated me to create this chapter called Women at Solution Architecture. So the goal of this chapter was to talk about all these challenges openly, and women can help each other by sharing the tips that have helped them overcome all these challenges. And I got an overwhelming response from the leadership, from the women in this role. It crossed over 400 members in less than a month, and it really felt so, I felt so proud about this accomplishment. And this is something that really excites me and I'm most proud about.